What's up, Metal Summoners? It's that time again. It is Wednesday night. We are halfway through the week. We are halfway through the boring part of the week. The weekend starts right now, as always, with TMS, with the Metal Summit, and everything that you want. We are your island of misfit toys. You know the spiel. You know how much we love you guys. And thank you, as always, for tuning in. I'm Jay. We've got Angel with us. We will have Bobby. We will have Steve. You know we can't get rid of those guys. They will be jumping in very, very shortly. So we'll just jump right into the action. We've got our friends on the show tonight here from LA. We've got Crash Karma with us. We've got Nikki. What's up, guys?
What's happening?
Not too much, not too much. Thank you so much for taking some time to hang with us tonight.
Absolutely.
No problem.
Nice to see you.
Yeah, definitely. You too. So we'll jump right into it because on Friday, your latest EP came out, which is Storm. So talk a little bit about how it feels to have some new music out there.
Well, new music is Summer Storm is new. The rest of the songs are all singles we released during the pandemic.
Right.
And since we're hitting the road again, we feel like we need something we can sign, a little souvenir for the people. So we released a very limited edition, 500 copies only are made, and we call it Storm. And the new song is basically Summer Storm. That's our single for the storm. We bring the summer storm. And everything else are your favorite songs we released during the last year, which it's our Cobra Kai song, Strike First. This is the Way from The Mandalorian, and Girl with a Hammer, The One Who Knocks. Our ode to Breaking Bad.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Basically all stuff that was just digitally released. So now this will be your chance to get the physical copy.
For sure. I've got one coming in the mail eventually. I am excited.
Oh, yeah.
You don't have it yet?
Should be any minute.
It hasn't come into me yet. But I did place the order.
Awesome. Thank you so much for supporting.
No, of course, man. Are you kidding? I can't be missing one in my collection.
Holy crap.
No, absolutely, for sure. But yeah, so because during the pandemic, you guys have been releasing, a series of singles like you had said. So yeah, I mean more like new music, like a new physical copy, but with the newer songs that you've been putting out little by little, like you said, Strike First and Girl with a Hammer. So talk a little bit about where your mindset was, during the pandemic, because one of the things we've always talked about on the show is how music can be incredibly cruel to bands that don't continue to put themselves out there and keep themselves relevant, because the new thing can come in and then you're no longer what was a thing, and then you have to struggle to kind of get back going. So when the pandemic hit, because of course everybody in music was really not prepared for what it did to everybody, talk a little bit about your mindset and what you guys did to stay in the public eye.
Our mindset was in January, February that we need to finish our new album and get a plan for the release and go to tour the United States and then Europe. We had a whole tour in Europe already set up with a Swedish band. And so we had all these songs written. And when the pandemic hit, we knew there's no reason now to release an album because there's no tour. And the only way we benefit from a new album is going on tour. So we had all these songs and we said, you know what, let's just release single by single and songs that fit into the current vibe, how we feel.
And you can tell by the vibe that we were into a lot of Netflix and watching and streaming, just like everybody else, because all of our inspiration came from movies and TV shows that we were into. And, it was just kind of, that was more the relevant feeling. And lucky for us, we were busy the whole time. We always had inspiration for something, and we built a studio in our garage and just kind of kept rocking the whole time. And so in that way, I feel very lucky that we actually had something to do and were able to stay inspired and motivated to do stuff all the time. So that was good.
Absolutely, for sure.
So our mindset was, anyway, we need to be recording and writing music until June. I think that was our deadline. But since March, everything shut down. We decided, you know what, we need to cut all the costs we can. So we got rid of our rehearsal room. We got rid of the gym membership. We laid a big cable to a neighbor to get internet. So we got rid of all the costs. And then we decided, you know what, we need to stay relevant, like you said, and we need to release music. But there's no way for us to pay to have a publicist or radio guy or anything. So, but we knew we need to put out videos. So we built a studio in our garage where we recorded all the drums, and then we put a green screen behind it, and that's where we shot
Like
all.
Angel.
Yes, and that's where we shot all our videos. So from then on, we decided, you know what? What if we just do the occasional cover song that we can post in Facebook groups, and then put out our originals, and we have to drive traffic to our site without paying Facebook ads or YouTube ads because we don't make any money back. So that was our main focus during the whole pandemic, that we have organic reach, and that's what we did.
Gotcha. And I mean, there's definitely benefits to having some of those assets, but this is where the Metal Summit comes in. We will be your publicist.
Yeah.
Yes.
We will put you guys out there and stuff like that.
Awesome.
Yeah, and that was something that I saw that I always thought was like super duper cool was like the little covers that you guys were doing, like Megadeth and stuff like that. Was that another thing that you guys were just doing to kind of stay out there with Facebook, something kind of fun and flirty, but also something to kind of keep you guys just kind of active and jamming?
Fun for us. I mean, to jam those songs and just like, it's just something we love to stay inspired too. And we just wanted to play the songs that inspire us. And it was more for TikTok is how it all started out, was we started getting in that platform. And then it's really funny because once you started getting some traction on that, people would be like, hey, can you cover this? And can you cover that? And we're just like, no, we kind of cover what we want to cover. It's got to be inspiring to us, and it's got to be something that we want to do. We're not just doing it to be a cover band. We're doing it because it's for inspiration for us and to draw from our influences and show people what our influences are.
Yes, and for the people who don't know us, we are two-piece, where Nikki plays the drums and sing, and I play a guitar bass hybrid and sing as well. So whenever I listen to music, I'm always thinking, could I pull this off with my one instrument? And I was thinking about, okay, here's the bass and here's the guitar. How can I play this? And the songs that we play are always songs where I feel like that doesn't require a whole band. That requires a duo from hell, which is KRASHKARMA. And so, for example, the Megadeth song is like, okay, it starts with a bass intro, peace cells, and then I goes into the riff. It's like, I can play this on one instrument. So we're jamming a lot in the rehearsal room. Whenever there's a song, I feel like I can pull this off. Then we play it. And then it also, of course, an important part is the vocals. Can we pull off the vocals? And I tried my Dave Mustaine. It's like, oh, it sounds pretty good. So we did this song. We did Metallica, Damage Incorporated, and
he's got the Hetfield down.
And those are all songs I grew up with. So for us, it's just like paying tribute to the legends.
Absolutely. Well, so Ralph, that's a great segue. Before I kick it to Angel, because you just brought it up, let's just kind of roll with that. So, yeah, your guitar is not common, like as in at all. So let's talk a little bit about Mrs. Frankenstein. What exactly is the situation with that? Like, how did it occur to you? Was your plan to kind of stay as a two-piece and then you had to kind of figure it out, or was there thoughts to have a bass player? Did you at one point have one? Talk a little bit about your guitar and being a two-piece in metal.
Man, I'm always thinking as a four-piece, classic Metallica lineup. It's like 2 guitars, bass, drums. This is how I write music. There's the bass part, there's the rhythm guitar, and here comes in the lead guitar. And that's how I write my songs all my life. Then with KRASHKARMA, we were a 4-piece in the beginning. And we started traveling to Europe, to the United States. And the more you travel, the more you have to deal with other people's schedules. So we had to shrink it down at one point where we were only a 3-piece. So at this point, I was playing all the lead guitar and all the rhythm guitar. I made a bass player and Nikki on the drums. And that was great too, but you know what? I rather just jump around and play the rhythm guitar. In the studio, I play all the solos and I can shred and do all this, but on stage, I just want to destroy. We did our bass player. So we had several bass players along the way, and the last bass player had injured his spine while we loaded the van. And he never made it.
It was like already a problem, and then he exacerbate whatever that word is I'm looking for. It made it worse by lifting gear.
After 15 hours in the van of the upcoming tour, he couldn't feel his legs anymore. So we had to bring him to a hotel, pay him a plane ticket back to LA, and say goodbye
before the first show.
But we have to mention that he never had to play a show with us before. That was our new bass player who just filled in for the tour, and he never made it to the first show.
Wow.
So the first show, and there was a whole tour book. We had a radio promoter, we had a song on the radio, festivals. We needed to pull through this tour. So at this point, we had a backing track for the bass just in order so Nick and I can rehearse without a bass player. So we had this backing track with the bass. So for this first tour, I put out the backing track to the front of house guy and said, here's the bass track. And when there was solo bass parts, I had an octave pedal where I just played the bass plays, the bass notes on my guitar so it doesn't look weird. There's a bass coming from the track. But anyway, every day when standing on stage doing this tour, I realized that 90% of all the songs, the bass is basically just backing up what I play on my E string. So I came up with the idea that if I could build a one-string pickup that only picks up one E string, I will get a clean root note. I can have an external cable going through an octave down pedal to a bass rig. And then I just need to always play the E string. When I don't need the bass, I don't play the E string. So that's how I started playing. So after this tour, I built this. I was sawing pickups in half, and I was soldering cables and building rigs, and I just kept evolving. And on the next tour, my dad is an electrician. When I was in Germany, I got better gear, and then I just developed that instrument until I got to a point where the bass tone was better than any bass player I ever played with. And that's when I realized we don't really need a bass player. But I think more important is on this first tour, we decided, okay, Nikki, we have to put your drum kit on to the front. And you're going to be singing half the songs now because it's about.
And we figured this
duality.
out on the way to the first show that we had to play. We were like, we changed everything and got it all ready. And we're going to perform it live for the first time at a festival and see what happened. You know, and that was just like, we conceptualized it and had it that we could make it work. And it was awesome. We had like the best feedback we had ever had. And then we just decided, that's when we decided that we should maybe think about pursuing it as a two-piece, because we were like, this is kind of unique, no one's doing this, and if he can pull this instrument off, we can get away from the tracks, which is what I always wanted, to be away from that. I was like, if we're going to do this, we got to do it for real. And you know, and that was kind of how it all started and how his whole instrument came to be. And then he had to basically relearn how to play everything, you know, so and start writing differently. And
all of a sudden the band name made sense too. You know, it's the Crash and the Karma. It's not Crash, Karma. It's Crash Karma. So everything just came together, and she's crazy on the drums, and she's an entertainer. So, and once we figured we don't need anybody on stage, that it's like a magic trick when you watch us. You know, here's something happening, and then something's gonna happen here, and then here's the next element, and we just switch back and forth basically. And we realized it's way more unique and entertaining than as a 4-piece, and that's how we stayed as a 2-piece. That was the birth of the real Crash Karma.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's super cool. And all those early tours that you were saying, like before your band members even made it to like the first tour, that's back in the whole 7 Deadly Sounds time, right?
No, actually the whole thing started with the tour for Paint the Devil.
Oh, Paint the Devil. Okay.
Yes. We were still, if you listen to the whole album, and it was written for 4 people.
Yeah.
And then that was 2015.
Paint the Devil, people.
Yes. That was recorded for 4 people, but we started doing as a 2-piece on that album.
Oh,
and then we started writing the new music. And the next album was called Morph. And the title comes from morph into a monster. And that's how we describe our history, how we morphed into this 2-piece monster. And if you look at the cover of Morph, it shows you this one-headed monster that has 4 arms. And it's from our favorite horror movies. Yes, but this is basically describes, if you read the lyrics to the song, is we didn't choose to be this monster, but we had to turn into this monster. It was do or die. And that's basically what happened.
That's super duper awesome, man. I love talking like history stuff. It's just super duper rad. And the fact that your guitar is what it is and your ability to play it, I was like, no, we definitely got to talk about it and hear all about it. Angel, let's kick it over to you, brother. How are the Metal Summoners doing, and how are you doing?
They're awesome. I got a fan request. Cheers to the fans. Susan. Yep, and cheers to Susan. That was her request that I hold it up.
Hi, Susan.
Hey, the shirt says Alcoholica, so you can't blame me, right?
Alcoholica.
Strike hard, Angel.
Yeah. I had to blame it on you, bro. Oh yeah, the fan questions. Sorry about that. First question is from Candy Burton. She wants to know who or what inspires you to be the best.
To be the best.
Whether
That's
it's
a
a
good
drummer, whether it's a singer, a musician, whether it's somebody that does karate, anybody.
All of the above. Ninja.
I think the standard answer would be to get laid. But
that's what started it off.
no, not at all for me. I always played music like since I was able to play the recorder, and I tried to play Kiss on my recorder. And I realized this doesn't work, and so I just switched to guitar. So yeah, pussy was never
a motivator.
No motivator, no.
It was for me. Not
And me too. That's why I'm on here.
I think the motivator for me is if I don't play music and get better, I get depressed. If I'm staying on one point, I get really depressed. And without doing this, I think like screaming and just singing is a therapy itself. And writing music, I think also writing music is always like you play a video game, you reach the next level. That's what music is for me too. I write a song, and if I don't write, the next song needs to be better than the last song. Otherwise, I'm staying on the same level, and it's going to be very depressing. And in order to avoid depression,
it's always a learning process too. I mean, I think for me, it's just the challenge, and looking at all the greats that inspired us, like from the Anthrax and the Megadeths and all these older bands. I'm also very into watching the new music that's popping up, and I get really inspired by the new scene, the new metal that's coming out right now, and I love to be a part of it, and it inspires me greatly to continue on and be better and grow and be a part of this whole scene. I love it.
Nice.
And we got our next question from Jeannie. She wants to know, what is your favorite songs to perform?
Our songs?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like performing Girl with a Hammer. It's really fun. I get to hit stuff. I jump over the drums and come down to the front of the stage, and that's super fun.
Girl with a Hammer, that's definitely a crazy song.
Yeah.
I was thinking the same thing.
That was definitely our biggest single that we released so far. And right as we released it, the pandemic hit. So we played it, I think, like 2 shows.
Twice.
And I was like, that was the song.
I was so excited for the whole tour. I was like, yes, I get to jump over stuff and hit things.
Nikki has this big hammer, and she's jumping over the drums, and everybody's jaw always drops. Like, what the fuck's happening?
Yeah.
Definitely. I wish I could see this as a bystander. That's definitely, that's probably one of my favorite songs. And one of my favorite songs is always Tears of Gasoline. That's always, I think, our last song of the set, and everybody gets into it, and I get to play my guitar solo, and I always like pick the most random spot in the club where I can play my guitar solo, preferably on the bar, and just surprise the bartender, and possibly I lay down on the bar and the bartender shoots some whiskey down my throat, and I'm gonna be all rock and rolling.
It's the last song, so it's okay.
Yeah. Shoot, that's how we start the show.
She would end it there too,
Usually,
at that moment.
We once played in a strip club, and I ended the show like this. And man, if you watch us live, I sweat a lot and I jump around, so my body's craving liquids. And if I top this off with whiskey, I just puke it out
real quick.
So that was a really good mix, puking in a strip club with strippers and puke and groupies everywhere.
It was fun.
That's exactly why girls weren't really a thing, a motivator at first. It was all...
Dude, can I come on tour with you? Man, now I know who I want to go on tour with. Like strip clubs. It's awesome.
LA strip clubs.
Yeah.
I'll fly out, dude. Don't worry. I'll kidnap Jay.
You don't need to kidnap me, dude.
Like, I'm in the car already.
Don't threaten me with a good time, bro.
Nice.
Okay. Kim Sullivan has a good question. Reflecting on your summer tour promo video, are you really skateboarders? And if not, did anyone wipe out making it?
We do skateboard, both of us. We skate and we surf and snowboard and enjoy all boarded sports. And we had this idea to strap the drums onto the skateboard and the speaker onto the skateboard. And there was some close wipeouts, like when we were trying to figure out how to balance it and stuff. But
I mean, was it like Right. I mean, was it like touch and go? Was it like kind of trying to put one thing in and then put in the other to see if? Because that's pretty creative. I mean,
The whole thing started with I had this idea for years and years that I built those little speakers and put it on our carveboard, our skateboard. And riding the skateboard, I want to play the guitar solo from Possessed to Skate from Suicidal Tendencies. So I uploaded this video a few months ago, and this thing got like 500,000 hits.
wow.
And after we did this, and that wasn't easy, we shot this somewhere in Malibu on the beach, on the pier. So you will find it online on our page. So and after this thing went viral, we thought, this would be really cool if we can strap a drum kit to a skateboard. So we have this big ass carver skateboard
with like big wheels.
So
it's for downhilling. Yeah.
But then Nikki needs to pull this off. And playing guitar, it's pretty difficult on a skateboard, but it's doable. But playing drums, that's impossible. So we had a few different versions, and Nikki had to pull it off. So
yeah, we had to rig it and strap it all in together and make sure it was on tight and get the right footing and the right positioning so I could still play the kick drum and the snare and everything while balancing. So it was a fun experiment.
So
I almost only ate it once. It wasn't so bad.
When we shot this video, there was several times when we almost ate it, and we shot this in this tunnel, and this tunnel is like the sewer from LA. So the water has probably the worst STDs you ever get in your life. So don't touch the water. So we had to stay clear from the little drainage thing.
Puddle.
And it wasn't easy.
Yeah. But it was good. We made it. But yes,
you made it look easy and you made it look fun. I mean,
yeah,
it was fun.
So here's a question about the EP, because again, some people will think once the 500 copies are sold that there'll be more. So is it where it's strictly 500 and that's it?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to just keep that as it's a limited edition. If you want it, get it now, and then it'll be available digitally from then on.
Exactly.
That's it.
One question. Okay, we always promote merch. I know when we're on, we always tell people buy the CD, buy a T-shirt. You have a freaking kick-ass T-shirt design. How did that come about?
Our new one, the with the wind god and the demon and the angel. Yeah.
Yes, the one that's on sale now for $25 in all sizes.
Yes.
Had to push that.
Thank you.
Wow, awesome. Angel.
It's a cool T-shirt.
Yeah, no, it's a great T-shirt, dude. They've got a Reaper hoodie. That's like so bitchin', dude.
Definitely. We just put this one also on a hoodie. We're making our merch for the tour right now, but it's not all up online yet.
It's this artist who made. We found him over the Butcher Babies. I think he did the last Butcher Babies design, and then he did for Prong, Metallica, for a bunch of people. He did
Typo Negative.
So we had to get in contact and said, "Hey, I think you're the right guy for this design." So Nikki described the idea, and that's what came out. It's badass. I wish we had this as a backdrop for the tour.
Yeah, it just didn't come quick enough.
There you go. It's a badass shirt. I mean, I love the shirt. I was like, wow.
Yeah, this is all the stuff up there is our Strike First stuff. That was the Cobra Kai. And then up a little higher at the top is the stuff that we just did.
A little higher.
Go up a little higher if you can. Yeah, these
right,
guys.
That's the shirt, yeah.
Click on this second thumbnail and you can see the
the little one. Yeah,
there's
that's
the design.
Yeah, that just freaking kicks ass.
That's me in the red, and that's Nikki in the right, and the middle guy's the old bass player.
That's an ugly looking bass player.
Hey, be careful, Angel. We're a sensitive breed, dude.
I was just playing.
Yeah, so that's how we got that guy. We're always looking for different artists and just collaborators and things like that. So this guy was the one for this design. His name is Joey Hernandez, if anyone ever wants to look him up.
Like I said, great design.
Thanks. Yeah, this guy rules.
Okay. So let me see if there's any more fan questions.
Yeah,
Again, fans, please keep submitting questions. What are the plans for, again, because you guys are going out on tour, any plans to release any more new music anytime soon?
Of course, our whole plan was interrupted by this pandemic. And
just like everybody else's.
And so we had this motherload of songs. And since we released a few of those songs, we keep writing new songs. So the ultimate plan is finishing our album, recording it, shopping it, and then going back on the road. So right now we're basically planning for spring 22. So this whole summer we will finish writing and recording our album, and then probably playing always one-off shows in between. We're going to, I think, maybe Reno. We're going to Colorado Springs, to Denver, and hopefully
Yeah, we'll still be
Phoenix.
doing shows throughout the rest of the year, but in between we'll be getting our album ready, and at the top of the year or latest spring we're going to release the next album.
Yes, we are basically preparing for 22. It's going to be a kick-ass year. For
Okay,
us.
so would that be like a full length?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's going to be full length and heavy as fuck.
Yeah, it's kind of gotten on a little bit heavier over time, over the pandemic.
Nice. We get to have a future episode again with you guys.
Yeah,
Yes.
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, so when you have the album coming out, you're welcome to come back on the show.
Yes, it's going to be badass. I'm so
Yeah.
excited about the album, but I've been excited about the album for over a year now. But we always write new songs and it gets heavier and it's like, it's going to be slamming. And you know what? Honestly, the pandemic has been a good thing for us because finally we could just sit down in the rehearsal room and work on stuff where before it was always like, okay, we need to go on tour. We have 2 months, write, record, and then go out on the road again. I was always back and forth.
Stuck in the cycle, you know.
And this time, for the first time, we could just sit down in the rehearsal room and just see, okay, what's good, what's bad, where do we need to work on, what do we need to work on, what can we make better, and so we could refine the whole idea of the band. And I think once we're back on the road, we're gonna be so much better.
With the festivals opening up, because there's festivals already opening up for Europe for 2022, can fans over in Europe expect you to go overseas?
We will for sure be overseas next year.
We will spend the whole summer in Europe next year.
Also, that's something cool for the UK fans.
Yes.
Especially fans who are up now at 3 a.m. over there watching us.
Nice. Well, they'll catch the replay if not.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
We're always replaying. We're on YouTube. We can be found. We always make sure that if you miss it live, you won't miss it again. We always make it very accessible. And like we've told previous guests, and of course the 100% applies to you guys. I mean, this is your episode. This is your interview. You use it as you see fit in any way that it'll help you guys. So
nice.
No, we're definitely all about that.
The main thing, we have just a few shows in the U.S. I think we have 9 shows right now. There'll probably be a couple more scattered throughout the rest of the year. So always try to catch us live. That's my first thing I say to anybody who doesn't know us and wants to get to know us. Come to a live show.
For sure. Definitely.
Then, follow us on all the social media sites. We've been really having fun with TikTok in the last little bit of time. So that's kind of been our new favorite. It's like the only platform that actually caters to music in some fashion.
In some way, exactly.
So we've been having fun there, but we're on Instagram and Facebook, Twitter, and all that good stuff. So follow us, YouTube, go to our channel, and we're always putting out new content, and we have fun with our content. So we're always doing something new.
Absolutely, for sure.
What's your TikTok link or name?
TikTok.com/@KRASHKARMA.
@KRASHKARMA. Yeah.
I don't have TikTok, so I had to ask. I'm still new to
The cool thing about TikTok is I thought is you can only upload 1-minute videos, so we don't have to cover a whole song. We can just get away with verse, chorus, and it's fine.
Oh, nice. That's one of the. So that makes sense why the little covers were working so successfully for you guys.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's why when you put it on like a Facebook or something, everyone's like, where's the whole song? And it's like, well, we only did it for TikTok, you know? So it's kind of.
You got to buy the album.
Yeah, buy the album.
Exactly, for sure. Talk a little bit about your guys' dynamic singing. So you guys really, balance well off of each other. You do a pretty solid, 50-50, 60-40, give or take on how you guys design the song. So talk a little bit about your guys' communication process when you're putting a song together, about how you want to handle the vocals between yourselves.
And a lot of times we just try it all and see what sounds the best. Sometimes we'll write something for with the beginning thinking that Ralph's going to sing it. And then I'll try it and be like, oh, actually, this makes better sense if I'm doing the verse or I'm doing the bridge. And we just kind of, that's the beauty of having a male and a female singer, is that we can just try anything and see what's going to work and what sounds the best. And, and it's a lot of fun. We're a limitless in that way.
Yeah, we work on the songs a lot and we try different keys and then
Yeah.
Most of the times, our song starts me an acoustic guitar, an electric guitar, and I put something down, and then the first version. And then I get Nikki in the studio.
Line.
Get Nikki in the studio. It's like, what would you sing over this? And then she starts singing, and then okay, who should sing the chorus? And then should we do a 2-part harmony? Should you sing it? And then
should we go back and forth?
As we just try different things, then sometimes it becomes clear, okay, that's a Nikki song. Nikki should probably sing that song and carry the whole vibe. And sometimes it's like, maybe the verse needs to be heavier, so I start growling more, and then Nikki sings the chorus, or vice versa. Nikki keeps the dynamics down in the verse, and I start coming in yelling the chorus. And then there's a few things, and one thing we started working on is too that Nikki's doing more of the screaming and I do more of the singing, and so that's going to be the new album too. And it changes a lot, honestly. There's some songs that Nikki sings now that I used to sing, and vice versa. Maybe always just try the best outcome.
Oh, nice. Yeah, because you've got a song like Stranded, for example, which we talked about off the air, which is a dominant Nikki song, but Ralph, the chorus is like all you.
Yeah.
And that's an interesting part. I remember I wrote the song when Nikki was gone somewhere. She was visiting family, I think, and I was and I wrote the song. And I think my verse is badass because I used to sing the verses on the demo, and it's one of my favorite Wait a second. It's one of my favorite verses, like the melody line. And then we recorded this song with Mitch Marlowe. He's a great producer who worked with All That Remains, The Butcher Babies. He played Within This Moment. He played guitar and filter. He's a badass guy. And we produced the song with him. And I remember going to the studio and it's like, yeah, I think Nikki should sing the chorus, the verse.
Sing the
I'm
verse.
Like,
He's like, it's my favorite.
So Nikki came up with a completely different melody, and then that's how the whole song started. And I still got to sing the verse, the choruses. But Nikki did an amazing job. The song is way better than it was before. But I still have the melody, the original melody for Stranded. It's going to be another song.
Maybe we use it for something else.
Nice. So we definitely have that to look for. It's kind of like it's like the birthing of a little Easter egg.
Yes.
For future Crash Karma.
Yes.
Because I've found the way that you guys construct your songs and the way that you write just to also be very, very interesting. Because another song that I want to reference is 9 Lives, 1 2 Die, because it's kind of a bilingual song to a certain degree for anybody who's listened to Eyes Vi Die. So what was kind of the idea behind that, and honestly singing it sort of in a different language at parts?
Whatever makes a song unique, that's always a good thing, I feel. And I don't remember what the original chorus was, talking of rewriting songs, but I wrote the lyrics to 9 Lives at one point, and I felt like 1, 2, which is German for 1, 2, and then die. So it made sense that we have a song that calls 9 Lives, where you lose 9 lives, and when you put German numbers, and it's 1, 2, and die. So this was just a good starting point for a song. And I remember we had the song, it was a different chorus, and then I thought 1, 2, die, that would be a badass chorus. And we put it in, and it worked. And I have more of those ideas. So I have another song about 69, for example, where
Fantastic.
Where the number 6 in Germany, it's sex.
Oh,
It's already too easy.
6 is sex, but if you turn the 6 around, it's a 9, and 9 is also no in German.
Right.
So you have sex and 9. So no sex, or you turn it around and then it's 69. So there's a bunch of double meanings with 69, where it's no sex, no, it's upside down. Now it's is sex, it's oral sex, it's 16.
yeah.
You see where this is going. There's a
No,
lot
exactly. No, I love it. I was like, yeah, it can start with a 69 until you notice the board look in her eyes, and that's how it turns into no.
So
You know what, Jay? That's a good concept.
Is it sex? Is it 6? 9.
9.
So if they say, is it a 6? And I reply in German, it says 9. It's like, but you think it's a number, but I'm replying in German, it's 9. So it's 6, 9. No, it's 69. Is it sex? 9. It's 16. And that's always.
And he's from Germany, so
Right.
and we do a lot of touring over there, so it's always kind of fun to put the languages together, so they also have something to grab onto. And it maybe doesn't make sense to the Americans, but therefore it makes sense to the Germans, and it always sounds cool, so who cares?
Absolutely.
I mean, the Metal Summit is here to educate
Exactly.
on these things. If you go to Germany, you know.
Exactly. And this is usually a big song live, because I'm I'm teaching the audience German. They need to learn how to count till 2 at least.
Yeah.
So and that's when we go back. It's like here we are about to educate. We are bringing the borders down because borders are all in our heads, and the border starts with language. So you need to understand what I'm saying, and I understand what you're saying. So we teach each other the ways of communication.
So 6'9" is perfectly understood now.
It's all in the name of education.
Exactly, for sure.
Hey, we give sex education on the Metal Summit too.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
It's summer.
No schnitzel. What? Schnitzel. Oh, that sounds really good.
Who says no schnitzel?
Man, that was me during
69%
COVID.
Equals no schnitzel. Now you make me want a schnitzel.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and now you're just going to make me, because the way that this conversation's going, now it just wants me to like dissect your entire catalog, because now the song that's going through my head right now is No One, and No One Gets Out Alive.
My favorite thing about that song is one time we were at a show. It was also in Germany,
I think
right?
No One was actually the first KRASHKARMA song.
Yeah, that was the first KRASHKARMA song. But
Yeah,
we
because
used
that one is on Seven Deadly
Seven Deadly Sounds. Yeah. But we used to play it, and this girl came up to us after the show once, and she was like, "Oh my God, I love that song."
But that was, we played a show in Berlin.
In Berlin, yeah.
And there was this girl from Russia who came to our show.
Yeah.
Oh.
And she's like,
but you gotta know, No One Gets Out Alive.
That's how it goes. Exactly. Yeah. And she thought it said No One Gets Satellite. I love that song, No One Gets Satellite. And we're like, what?
I can relate. I'm from Russia. We didn't have TV.
We're like,
anything for the fans.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Whatever you love, sing it how you like. Make up your words. If it makes you feel good, I don't care.
No one gets satellite.
No one gets satellite.
No one gets satellite. Yeah, it makes kind of. Yeah, it could be translated.
Hey, whatever
Exactly.
works.
Oh no, for sure. 100. And that's the one thing that's also so great about music is whether you get the lyrics right or whether you get the lyrics wrong. I mean, people are going to connect with the songs, the music in their own like special, unique ways. I was talking. I was doing an interview recently that I with one of our fans after a festival I covered, and I was talking to them a little bit about like just what the definition of music is to me and stuff like that. And the one thing I love about just music in general is it's fantasy, but it's based around the depths of reality. Like you can write these songs based on personal experiences, things that have happened to you, things that you can relate to, or things that you want to happen, but they can be related to in all kinds of different ways.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean by the whole, like just fantasy based on reality. You can write a song that is something that maybe happened with your family, but it connects with somebody about somewhere maybe they just want to go in their life or something like that. And that's the one thing I think is like super duper cool about music in general. But no, I love the fact that you guys have a song that is specifically lyrics this way, but hearing it live between the way you sing it, the way you yell it, your accent and stuff like that is being heard by a Russian fan in a different way. It makes for a cool, funny story, but there's not really anything wrong with it either.
No,
yeah,
it's amazing.
But you know what? We do this on purpose as well. I think the best one we pulled off is our single "Save Me."
Yeah, this is a good one.
This song is a very personal song. But when we wrote the song about a cell phone.
That we got our inspiration about cell phones.
Really?
It's a song about
listen to the lyrics next
cell
time
phone.
and you'll see.
But listen to the lyrics, but the way I sing it, it's like a very dark song about personal struggle and about death and about the end of, but it's about a cell phone.
But it's actually about cell phones.
We put a pretty good double meaning in this, where we felt like, okay, here's what we sing about, and we're gonna twist into something different. But this is the real meaning of this song.
That's hilarious, because I know the song, but I also obviously I know your catalog, and I was like, that's fucking awesome, because I'm like, oh, it's a heavy banger of a tune, and the fact that it's written about a cell phone is fucking hysterical.
It's fantastic. Yeah.
I feel like bad. I don't want to tell anybody, but since we're having this conversation, I have to lay the cards.
Only the Metal Summit. Yeah.
I have to lay the cards on the table.
Exclusive.
Yeah. Shoot, that's two exclusives.
Exactly.
Sex education and now
It's sex education.
There you go. They were just writing on there, what songs did you always get the words wrong to forever?
Man, you know what? Growing up in Germany and just like listening to all kinds of songs, for me was always like, what are they talking about? I don't know. They're just singing along. And the other day, like 10 years ago, I remember someone's like, hey, can you we play the show at the Vibe Room in Hollywood? Can you sing Pantera Walk? So yeah, of course I can sing Walk. So I'm sitting at home and just like looking up the lyrics and like I always sing free splat. Whatever that means. You get a free splat. And then Nikki's like, you know he's singing respect. I'm like, respect. That's a free splat. So I think that's my most embarrassing.
That's a good one. Yeah. That's definitely a good one.
That's what Phil gets for breaking a word up in two.
Right? Free splat. But now I can't hear that song and not say free splat for the rest of eternity.
But your next like Pantera like TikTok like cover is gonna be Walk, but you can sing it, but there'll be like little splat things hitting the screen.
Little cartoon splats.
Exactly.
They're all free.
Little smiley emojis that are just going to be like. Angel, let's kick it over to you, buddy. How are the summoners doing?
Awesome. There's one really good question, and coming to think of it, I don't know this question about you, Jay, so you can answer it as well.
What?
What was your very first concert?
I'll tell you, my very first concert was Hank Williams Jr. Interesting enough, in New Jersey, which is where I'm from. And I went to watch this guy, and I was like probably 6 years old, and he was insane. He was naked on stage with a cowboy hat around his dick, going nuts, singing these songs. It was the most amazing, awe-dropping moment of my life. I think that's when I decided that that's what I want to do for a living.
Yes. Nice.
Was this a concert or a strip club?
It was an arena. Yeah. At 6, if my parents brought me to a strip club at 6, I would be, Mother, I know you're watching.
Sorry, Mom.
My first concert was, I remember meeting with my friends at the local playground because I was a kid. And then a friend of mine said, there's a rock show tonight. Because I lived to a really big venue, like a 6,000 seater. And my friend said, there's a rock show tonight. Some newcomer band. I didn't even know who it was. Like, you have to go there. And I said, oh, my parents, they're on a birthday party tonight. It was a Saturday. So no one can tell me I cannot go. So I was like, yeah, come pick me up. So he picked me up and I put on my tight pants, my cowboy boots that I had as a little kid. We didn't even have the concept of we have to buy a ticket or anything. So we just went to the venue, went to the fire exit, the emergency exit, opened the door. And we were so little that we just walked past the security guy, didn't even see us, and walked into the sold out show. And there I was, Metallica on their Master of Puppets tour.
What?
That was my first show.
What? Not bad.
That is amazing.
And what was yours, Jay?
Yeah, Jay.
Well, so it's not even in the rock world. So like my mom she was really eclectic and stuff like that. She's not a rock and metal person by any way, but dude, my mom's the coolest. She gave me my first Queen record, and everybody knows like what a crazy person I am for Queen. She also gave me my first Zeppelin album. But the first concert that I ever went to was actually this guy Tom Rush that I can remember. It was this guy Tom Rush. He was kind of like a country singer with a little bit of like a rock edge, but still more of a light, much more family style show. But it was in like a large venue, like kind of like an arena style venue. I remember getting to meet him, and somewhere around here, I still have my Tom Rush CD that's signed to me right on the CD by him.
Nice.
Because my mom took, I think he had gone over to merch, because this is also, I mean, this is in like the late 80s, early 90s when it was still, more common for even bigger arena acts to still meet with fans at merch and stuff like that. It wasn't as locked down as things changed over time and stuff like that. So he was still playing this big amphitheater,
but came
and
out. Yeah.
but I was still able to meet him, and it was really, really super cool. So yeah, the first concert that I can remember, I was with my mom and Tom Rush. So it's not quite the level of Hank Williams, and definitely not the level of Metallica, but
your first concert is still your first concert.
Yeah, and it was still a really bitchin' experience. I mean, I really definitely had a good time, and we're all family people and stuff like that. And the fact I was there with my mom, that's super duper cool. And she gave up the fight when it was obvious that I wanted to end up a heavily tattooed person, but she was always super supportive when it came to my musical taste. And when I was getting into Queen, she was like, here's. She went to the store and she got me Queen stuff. But since Bobby and Steve have joined in on us, let's bring them in on this question. Angel, why don't you start it off because you were here? What was your first concert?
Metallica on the Low tour.
God damn it, you Metallica people!
Right? Not bad.
Represent.
Yep, absolutely. Steve, first concert.
Eric Carr's first performance. Hold on a second. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. July 24th, 1980, Eric Carr's first performance with Kiss.
Okay.
The very first one?
Yes.
Oh,
at the Palladium in New York City.
New York,
the first time I met them, too.
Nice. Wow.
And that's how I got the name Psycho Steve from that show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
Bobby.
you have to elaborate on that.
Can you hear me?
Go ahead, Steve.
All right. So my father was best friends with Bill Coyne, who was Kiss's former manager. And when I was 5 years old, my father did charity events for juvenile diabetes. And my father got approached by Bill Coyne to bring Kiss to perform for a benefit. So I have an older brother, not bragging, of course, but he brought me and my father Kiss Alive 2. And my father's like, you got to hire Kiss. And my father looks at them and goes, nah, I think they're too offensive. So they passed on it. And they were covered in makeup and blood and whatever. A couple years later, Bill Coyne comes to our house and he goes, is Steven still a Kiss fan? He goes, yeah. And he goes, okay, here. And he gives me this piece of paper and he has Gene's mailing address. So I wrote him a handwritten letter saying, my name is Steven Prestup. I'm 6 years old. I'm a fan of your music, And like about a month and a half later, I got a handwritten letter back from him asking me how I got his address. I wrote him again. And he goes, if you want to come to the show, of course, you're not old enough to go to the show by yourself. You need to bring a parent or an adult. So I said, okay. So he left me and my father. Yeah, he left us 2 tickets at Will Call, 2 passes at Will Call. And they're all in makeup. I run backstage and everything, and I'm looking, and then I see Gene. Gene's like 6'1" without the boots. He's like 6'8" with the boots on. And I'm like this fat little kid. I'm like 3 feet tall, 3 feet wide. And I run up to him and I go, oh my God, you're Gene Simmons. And he goes, Mashugana, psycho. And I start crying because I didn't know what Mashugana meant. And I didn't know I thought psycho was a curse word. So I went up to my dad and I was like, Dad, Simmons called me a Mashugana and a psycho. And my father's like, calm down. Let me go talk to him. And then my father went up to him and goes, hey, Gene, how are you? I'm Dave. I'm Steve's father. He's the one that had been corresponding in letters because there was no email at the time. Mm-hmm. And he goes, oh, yeah. He's like, and tell him to calm down. He's like, I might wear more makeup than your wife and higher heels than your mom, but I'm just a mortal man. And so my dad calmed me down and go talk to him. So I went up to him again. I calmed down. I was like, Gene, I was just really excited to meet you. And he goes, it's okay. And he goes, picks me up and puts me on his knees. Like, excuse my language. He's like, oh, you're a heavy little fucker, aren't you? And he's like, are you married? You have any kids? Don't ever get married. Don't have any kids. And he's like, how are you doing in school? I'm like, Gene, it's summer, so there's no school. He's like, oh, yeah. He's like, you like school? I'm like, yeah. He's like, what's your favorite subject? Let me guess, lunch. And yeah, so that's how the Psycho Steve name evolved.
Okay, so that's where it started. Not bad.
So,
Awesome.
Not
all right.
bad.
Nice.
So I'm sorry I was late to the party. I had to work this evening. So
No, it's okay.
it's an honor to meet you guys. I absolutely love the music that I've heard so far.
Thank you.
Like Jay, I am going to probably order the CD. So I'm going to be like one of the cool kids. So
Yes.
just you guys sign them too when we order them
course.
directly through you.
Yes.
All right.
For you, yes, we were doing it for the pre-order, but we aren't doing it for the regular sale. But for you, we'll make an exception.
Awesome. Wow. Okay.
Have you guys started shipping them out yet?
Oh, they're already all out. Everything's out.
You don't have them yet?
So it'll show up whenever the hell it shows up.
Yeah, any minute. Yeah, as soon
People
as
in
the post
Europe-
decides. Yeah,
People in Europe have them already.
Europe already got it, and the states have not gotten theirs yet, which is very.
Oh, okay. I was beginning to think I wasn't popular.
No, it's
No,
just
I was gonna say, is it
it's our
white?
U.S. post.
They will arrive this week, promise.
Awesome.
Cool. No worries. It's all good. Bobby Dre, our first concert, brother.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
a
okay,
little bit low.
a little low, a little low. Okay, it's because I got earbuds in and I'm in a lobby and I'm slamming margaritas down in Tennessee.
All right.
For you.
So, yeah. So again, I'm like Steve. I apologize for coming late to the party. I was just with Mr. James Curley, JC, the president and CEO of Gibson Guitars, which tomorrow will be doing a special live interview with for the Metal Summit in JC's office. So we'll have that an exclusive.
Yes.
But so my first show, 1977, The Spectrum, Kiss.
Nice.
Two Kiss, two Metallica,
Two
and
Kiss,
then
two
there's us.
Metallica.
And then there's me and Jay.
Yeah, seriously. me and Nikki are stranded on our island.
Yes.
Wait a second. I know I got something. Probably, I think my parents drugged me at one point. I know there's got to be like oh my God, who the heck? Tom Jones. I swear, I know I went to a Tom Jones show somewhere. But,
Amazing.
Yeah.
Ralph loves Tom Jones.
Yes. It's not unusual to have fun with anyone.
So my question is, with you, how the hell did you not break a string and skateboard at the same time?
That was easy. Don't break your neck. That's more. No, that's the easy part. Guitar playing is easy, but to be on that skateboard, and if you look at the skateboard, it's a Carver skateboard. So and the truck in the front pivots. So that means to get down, you really have to have your balance. It's not like a normal skateboard where you just put your foot down. And now I have those two speakers.
I skate, so that's what I was sitting there laughing. I'm like going, that was the coolest thing you did.
Thanks.
Yes.
We like
I
to
was
have
waiting
fun.
for the cranberry juice bottle to come out.
Yes. For me, it was more like a vodka bottle.
Oh, okay, go.
A vodka.
A vodka.
I've with tequila.
Margarita. That'll do.
That's so awesome. Steve, let's kick it up to you, man. Question from yourself, man, coming off of our first concert experience.
Okay, so got a German joke for you.
Oh,
You ready?
Yes.
Okay. So I've told this to Doro. I've told this to Klaus Meine. I've told it to Michael Schenker. And now it's you. You ready?
Yes.
Okay. What do you call a German virgin?
Not a schnitzel. I don't know.
Guten Tag. Okay. All right.
What
I'm
is
with
it?
that.
Guten Tag.
Good and tight.
Okay.
I get it.
Good and tight.
Guten Tag.
Yeah.
There you go.
Not bad.
Okay, I get it. That's pretty good. Good and tight.
Yes.
Good and tight.
Yes. Exactly. All right.
Steve, did the other guys like the joke too?
Well, Dora gave me a kiss on the mouth, so yes. Klaus just laughed. I think he just laughed because, I didn't know if he understood me or
That's the
he
thing
just
with the
humored
Germans,
me.
it's like
Yeah, he was just like, he put his hair behind his ear and he's like, okay. Danke. Like kind of awkward kind of thing. So I don't know. Shanker just thought I was funny and everything. So he was like, "You're a funny boy." I'm like, "Thanks, man.
That's
Get that
right.
from a man, but I'll take a boy. Sure, okay." So all right. So the question I have for you guys: how did you come up with the name?
Well, we were looking for something that was kind of just like a dichotomy because we, when we first met, we were playing in a band called Suicide Holiday, and we really liked the picture that painted, and just
Right.
two things that don't belong together, and that was
Right.
kind of the idea, and just the male and the female and the duality, and that was kind of the whole thing that we were going for, and just the instant karma, like crash karma, is just like what you put out comes back directly, it just kind of summed up our energy, our combustion, our craziness together, and the duality of the two of us. Basically.
Yes, exactly. Something that just describes two words that don't really fit together, but somehow make sense. And I remember when we decided on the name, first we spelled it with a C, a CK, but it didn't look right. It looked like Calvin Klein. And I was like, trying to get the logo right. I was like, CK, yeah, that's too Calvin Klein E. So I remember then I switched the K out, and then it looked right. And then a year later or so, another band formed, KRASHKARMA with a C. So someone else stole the name
from Canada.
It's like the super group from Canada with a who's this guy from I Mother Earth,
Yeah.
singer, and
Mhm.
the T
I don't know Canadian bands.
I don't know.
Very much. Not
Some
too
super
many.
group.
Yeah.
So we ran into some problems when we released our first album, Straight to the Blood, in Canada.
Mhm.
And they're like, well, we cannot really release this here. So we had to prove that we have the right to the name, which we eventually did. And then we always said, it's fine if there's another KRASHKARMA in Canada. We go over there and play a show with them. We call it the Clash of the Crashes.
Why not? It
And-
just means that they had the right brainwave too. It was just in the air, and we both grabbed it.
All right. And then I have another question to piggyback off of that. You're both multi-talented, playing, drums, vocals, and bass/guitar, Mr. Frankenstein, and vocals. Were those both your first instruments, or did you both play other instruments prior? Like, was vocal, or was the drums, or the guitar?
Drums was my first instrument. So
Okay.
Singing for me came later. So the drums was definitely the first thing that I was starting with.
Cool.
For me, it was guitar. Guitar was my first instrument, and from then I branched out, played also bass in a bunch of bands. So guitar and bass, those are my two main instruments.
Now he just put them in one instrument, so he doesn't have
Yes.
to choose.
It's the easiest thing. But at one point, I remember having a band, and then I remember we had a band that was pretty successful. We were on the way up in Germany, and then our singer had a girlfriend, so all of a sudden he didn't show up at rehearsals anymore. So we were always sitting there. So I'm like, fuck, somebody else needs to sing.
You got to hire gay men.
Yes, but they will get boyfriends too.
Now we
So-
just cheat. No, we're not.
So at the end, someone had to do the job, and it was me.
That's how you started your singing career.
That's how I started singing. I locked myself up in the room and it sang Megadeth. That's how I started
Nice.
singing.
So kind of keeping it in that form as well, like going back to Suicide Holiday, how did you guys like find each other to like form?
We found each other at the NAMM show. It's
Oh,
a
nice.
That's where I'm at Summer NAMM right now.
Oh, nice.
Really?
In Nashville.
Ah,
Okay, cool.
yes.
NAMM.
Very good.
That's where we met in the winter NAMM in Anaheim, Los
Ah.
Angeles, California. I was standing in line to pee. She was standing in line, and then my roommate started
pee
hitting
together,
on her.
or-
He hated him. No.
Oh.
Yeah,
we
just
just-
we met there randomly.
we met. We met waiting to
Waiting
pee.
to pee. Uh-oh, I lost my.
Wow.
That's
Hold up.
just like, oh my God, that's like
Hi.
such a Carpenter song.
Which, waiting to pee.
Waiting to pee.
I've heard of Waiting to Exhale, but I've never heard of Waiting to Pee. Just
It's a
saying.
B-side. It's a B-side.
It's a B
Oh,
side.
The
okay.
pee side.
It's the P side.
There you go. Awesome.
That would be a good album title. Pee sides.
The P sides.
The P
Yeah.
side.
And I just had a margarita come out my nose.
These are the songs you go to pee while we're playing them live.
Yeah.
You know, he's the P side. There you
Every
go.
band has them. Every band has them.
True, that,
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely.
What it
Now-
really means.
now, the thing about this conversation is this is even funnier now, considering the length of Ralph's dreads conversation that we had off the air.
Yeah.
It all comes back to pee somehow.
Exactly.
Earlier, I got asked when I started growing my dreads, and it was in the 90s. That's when my hairdresser died, and ever since it just grows. But it grows longer and longer. And at one point, I never really thought about cutting my hair, so it grows longer and longer. And at one point, you start peeing on your hair, almost. So it's like, damn, I need to watch my hair if I bend over. And then you're drunk in a bar, and your hair just dangles around the pisser, and you're like, you cannot touch any other urine. And then at one point, you're like, okay,
Now it's time to cut your
now
hair.
it's time to cut your hair. If you're afraid to shit on your hair, you need to cut it. So, and that's the golden rule. If it gets so long that you can pee on your hair, you need to trim it. So every year around Christmas, I trim around like 8 or 10 inches
Like
off.
this much
Always
usually.
a good chunk, so I can piss freely, even when I'm drunk. I'm not afraid to pick up
Piss
anybody
freely.
else's urine.
Is that sounds like a Kiss cover band name?
Yes, it's
Piss freely.
piss freely.
Yeah, seriously. It's like the Kiss version of the Max Sabbath guys.
It's the golden rule, and that's so I live by.
It's the golden something.
It's the golden
The
shower
golden
rule
shower rule.
Yeah.
for my hair.
Okay, but we're talking about pee, and Steve Miller just walked by, and I'm just like, how do I laugh with Steve Miller, the Joker, just going by, and we're talking about pee?
He'd probably get in on it.
Yeah.
Bobby, we're almost 75 episodes into this fucking show, dude. You set yourself up by doing this show in a public space. You know better.
Hey, you remember what happened the last time I did a show in a public space? The guest died.
So what happened?
Sorry,
Who died?
Tawny.
Yeah, no, Tawny at Dolly World.
Yeah, I'll be
I don't
there
know
in
who that
2
is.
weeks. Tawny Katane.
Yeah.
So-
Okay.
What you never know. This could be a Fatal Attraction thing, or what a Final Destination.
Yeah, Jeff LeBar died today.
Jeff LeBar died today.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And you know what? We played, I think, our first. It was
What?
our second Crash Karma show as a duo. We played with Jeff
him.
LeBar.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He's a part of our history.
So we met him a few times. He's a super nice guy.
Super duper nice guy. Yeah, for sure. We've got something coming up later when it comes to that for sure. But I was not prepared for that. It was funny.
Oh.
So I had this giant bookshelf collapsed on my head today. And so like a few hours before the show, I'm like doing repair work, trying to salvage my like breakables off this bookshelf that fell over. And then while I'm getting everything fixed together, I get a message on our group chat about that. And I was like, no, because for the last like 2 hours, I've been saving my life. I have not been on social media. So then I kind of got caught up to speed when it came to that. So that's pretty crazy. But yeah, we did an episode with now the late Tawny Katane, who was a dear friend of mine. And Bobby was at Dolly World doing that episode with us and stuff. So we had this Dolly Parton statue like right behind him, and we were talking to Tawny about like trying to set up like a drag version of the Here We Go Again video.
Wait, I have flames behind me. Could that be an omen?
It could be. Our show's hot, motherfucker.
Halloween.
Yeah.
But here, let me kick it to Angel real quick. Angel, let's kick it to you, man. Question from you and questions from the Summoners.
Just a fan sharing their first concert. Candy, Backstreet Boys.
Nice.
I'm not making fun of you, Candy.
Hold on,
no.
come on. She was 8. That was totally the jam back when you
Exactly.
were a kid. Come
I
on.
can-
You're a young girl. You want to see those boys up there dancing and
Yes.
shaking their ass
And
all day
I
long.
cannot piss her off because she will positively kill me in Nashville.
Yep.
You get him, Candy.
No, I'm just kidding. I love you. Your mom was at the Kiss concert that Bobby was at. Just a connection between.
Okay.
Who's mom?
No, Nikki, your mom was at the.
My mom?
Yeah.
Your mom is up.
I was at the kids show at the Spectrum too. Oh, probably with my
Holy-
brother. Yeah.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she was at the kids show at the Spectrum.
Okay.
Wow.
That makes sense.
Wow.
She took my brother there.
And he was mortified.
And he was mortified. Yeah. They saw it was like his first concert, and it was just like a little overwhelming for him, I think. And they didn't make it through the whole show, unfortunately. He was a little guy. That's so cool, though.
I'm so jealous because Kiss is why I'm doing what I'm doing. Since I was 5 years old or 6 years old, I was in front of a Kiss poster like fire and blood and makeup. I want to do this. What are those instruments they're playing? And that's how I got my mom to buy me a recorder. It's like, here's your music instrument. And like
Nice.
for 2 years
You're
I
like,
could play
what
this.
do I do with this thing?
Exactly. And I tried Kiss. And
It's not working.
I
on
never
the
got
recorder.
past the G chord. And I think that there was no G chords in Kiss songs.
Not really.
No.
Yeah, I never really got on the Kiss train. I think I was just a little bit too late for that. It was more my brother's generation.
But Nikki played drums at Gene Simmons' roast.
I did. That was pretty cool.
Oh.
The Comedy Central roast.
It was here at the Comedy Central roast. It was
Wow.
here at the Key Club in LA, and I
Yeah.
got to do one of the drummers for that. That was super fun.
That's rad.
I got to meet him, and he was totally not fun to meet.
Oh, for real?
No, it was okay. But the show itself was awesome.
Nice.
And Susan, her first concert was the Rolling Stones, and Kim Sullivan, Queen, was her first concert.
Wow.
Queen!
Awesome.
Yeah.
Queen.
I love being a queen.
That's the same, right?
Well, kind of.
Nice.
Come on, Bobby. You know you're always going to be our empress, dude.
Ah, dude.
I'm
telling you.
Go ahead, Bobby.
No, you can
Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Bobby.
No, I lost my train of thought. Sip time.
I got the same problem. Okay, I need to fix that. Yeah, more alcohol always helps me.
Oh,
Apple juice.
Oh,
So
the
what's
question.
going-
Oh yeah, the
question,
question was for Nikki. What drummer inspired you to play drums, and who are some of your favorite drummers?
Probably at the beginning, the drummer that inspired me the most was Chad Smith from the Chili Peppers.
Nice.
And I was a big 311 and Deftones fan when I was starting out on the drums. So those were like kind of my influences at that time. And somehow my teacher was I was living in New Jersey when I first started, and my teacher was super into jazz, and he thought it was very important that I studied and learned the techniques from the jazz guys. So we would go to all these awesome shows in New York City and have these awesome jazz shows, and he'd make me count all the stuff and watch all the drummers and then teach me the techniques. So I was very happy to have that foundation growing up, and it also gave me a new appreciation for different styles of music, and getting out of just my punk and my rock and my funk type style stuff that I was into on my own. So my roots run deep in many different directions.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's
Very
super
cool.
Have you ever met Chad?
I have met him once, yes, at NAMM actually.
Oh,
wow.
Well, so what was that experience like? Meeting.
It was more of just like a hi, oh my god. It wasn't like a conversation, conversational piece. But I've got to meet a lot of drummers that I actually got to take a lesson from Chad Sexton of 311, so that was really cool. And I've got to meet a lot of the drummers that I appreciate and love and study from. I got to meet Vinnie Paul a couple times.
You also just got some lessons from Glenn Sobel.
Yeah, Glenn Sobel of Alice.
Very cool. Yeah.
Yes, I've got to meet a lot of people. Drummers are a cool breed as a whole. They're a lot more approachable than lead singers. But I always, like when you do meet a drummer like at NAMM, it's always a wonderful experience there because you can walk up to these artists, and anyone who's going to be at NAMM is someone who is normally open to having discussions and talking about their instrument or talking about something. And I've always had wonderful experiences there meeting artists and my heroes, you could say.
That's awesome. Oh, Nikki, did you get stuck with one of those LSD guys in your band?
With what?
With one of those LSD guys, one of those lead singer disease?
Oh. He's pretty good, but I've been in bands with plenty of that. I've been in all chick bands. I've been in a lot of different kind of different things where you've had your diva situations.
Oh, gotcha. That's wild.
LSD singers.
I know. I was like, huh?
Did you have an experience with band members in LSD?
And I was like, yes. How do you know about that?
I did my research.
Yeah.
Don't ask me how deep.
Well, it's kind of bizarre because like being a drummer, I kind of turned now into the lead singer as well, and
Right.
it's an interesting thing. I'm still trying to come into my own and to take that role because it used to be I was behind the drums and I could just be behind the drums, and now I'm like la, and still playing the drums. So it's an amazing transformation, and it's a growing process, and super fun. I'm enjoying it.
And now you've got the giant hammer.
And I got a hammer. Yes.
Like Ralph, growing up with being a Metallica and Megadeth person, did you ever get to meet like those guys kind of when you were getting up in guitar and stuff like that?
I never met James Hetfield, Kirk Hammett, but you know what? I got gifted a set of Dave Mustaine's strings that he played in a festival, and I put those on the guitar, and that's when I recorded the Peace Cells. So those were actually strings from Dave Mustaine.
Oh, that's cool.
Unfortunately, I never met him. I met Scott Ian once when they were on tour, and he was the nicest guy. And actually, we played a show. We played a show with this other band, Pearl, in Vegas. I got to talk to him
with his wife.
Yeah.
And I talked to him for a while. He's the coolest
So
dude.
no Dave Ellefson strings, because you can get them cheap for only $17.
Oh, Bob. Dude.
Good one. Good one.
I heard they're available online too.
Yeah. Can you download them?
Download them. Oh,
Another cool drummer that I got to meet was Dave Lombardo. And
oh, cool.
Great guy.
he was playing with Suicidal Tendencies at a festival that he was playing with his German band. And they were just sitting backstage, and I got to rap with him about how he can play double bass so fast. And
Nice.
he was a super, super cool guy. It was really fun to watch him play with Suicidal.
It's been pretty rad, like watching him do the stuff he's been doing with the Misfits.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to chime in real fast. So
Yeah,
is there a cover tune you guys have yet to do, or a song that you go, I got to do a parody of this?
Yes, I definitely. I still want to do a cover version, and we're gonna try to nail this one. It's "Battery" from Metallica.
Yes,
Really?
It's like that's the pinnacle of all songs. And if he can pull this off, then that's pretty good. I don't think we'd want to do a parody of this, but we just did a Metallica parody.
Yeah.
There's so much Metallica.
We did a lot of
We
Metallica
just did this.
lately.
Nothing Else Matters. Did you see this? We did a thrash version of Nothing Else Matters, and I think we only did it because everybody gave Miley Cyrus so much shit for her version. Like, we need to turn this around. We got to make this a thrash metal song. So we imagined the Black Album and everything else never happened. This is right now 86. It's Massive Puppets, and Metallica just wrote Nothing Else Matters, and it's gonna sound like Damage Incorporated. And that's it. So that was a parody.
Well, earlier in the episode, we kind of talked about a parody when you guys cover Walk.
Yeah.
Yes.
Free splat.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever dug deep into your arsenal and just said, okay, this is a song I loved? We all have those hidden songs that we like that we don't want anybody to know about, and go, I got to do this version of it.
Yeah. And we did on Christmas. We usually like bring out our funny side, so we always do like a Christmas gone wrong. Santa Claus dies.
It's our
Somebody
funny
needs
dark side. Yeah.
funny dark side. Oh yeah, this is us playing right now. Damage Incorporated right there. So we always have this funny side. So at one time, it got gorier and more splatter, and we realized we cannot shock our people with blood anymore. So we need to go the opposite way. So I dug out an old favorite of mine, which was Frankie Goes to Hollywood, The Power of Love.
Oh, nice.
and we did this, and I think it's
Miss
bad.
Queen, you should know that one.
Uh-huh.
And it's badass. And we did like this super sappy video for this. I felt like this needs to be very a tearjerker video. So we found this.
It's like a Korean show.
Korean TV show where this mermaid gets speared by another guy and he kills himself in the process.
It's a love story, total love
so
story, Korean
good.
style. Yeah.
But it's
it's
I
sappy.
think-
It's the exact opposite of what we do normally.
Yeah.
No, you guys should pull a copy of like Dead or Alive. You know, You Spin Me Round or something.
Oh, we just did a You Spin Me Around too.
did you see how it's
Did
spinning
you?
around?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so good. It's
I'm-
so fun.
I'm working on a version with a couple people, and it's soon to come out. But I'm doing it, and it's going to be.
Awesome.
Cool.
It's going to be I Kissed a Girl, but it's just a whole, and it's using all gay artists.
Fantastic.
Oh, talking of which, gay artists, we're also working on a cover right now from this the band. It's called Tattoo. There's two girls
Yeah.
from
Uh-huh.
Russia, and
Everything
it's the
she
20th
said.
Yes,
Yeah, all the things.
it's the
she said,
20th
yeah.
All the things
anniversary.
she
I got it right now.
Yeah.
The session on the computer. I'm finishing this up this week.
Very
Nice.
cool.
This is what we're gonna be.
And we have
releasing.
2 featured artists in that one. The two girls that are singing with us on that. So.
Oh, that's super cool. If you guys haven't seen it, I saw a cover of that song recently that really blew my mind. It was done by Lena Scissorhands from Infected
from
Rain.
Lena. Cool.
Yeah.
I know her.
Oh, shit.
Cool.
Yeah, she just duetted that song, and it's fucking fantastic. It's
Awesome.
really good.
Very cool.
So you guys should check that one out for sure if you haven't heard it yet.
Totally.
It's just
That's
just
awesome.
super duper cool. Because
love her.
considering Nikki, you do so much singing as like a front woman, let alone just drumming. There's a tour that me and my buddy Ron were just talking about that's very cool because you guys being friends with like the Butcher Babies, it's Butcher Babies, Infected Rain, and Stitched Up Heart.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Totally.
that's super cool. Like, just the just female fronted unite.
Powerhouse. I love it. It's
Mhm.
going to be an amazing one. Yeah.
Absolutely,
I
for
will
sure. I
for
love
sure
I also
that.
there it is, Bobby, the skating.
Yes.
That is awesome.
Oh, I love it. Oh my God.
And you'll see when I almost bite it. Watch right here. Hold up. And
Yeah,
woo!
you know what?
Catch it.
Here's my.
Fade out.
So I'm a big one wheel guy, so I'd love to see you do it on a
Nice.
one wheel.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, do a challenge. Come on. Get your guitar out. Make it happen.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's gonna be like the new challenge, like Nikki,
Yeah.
like when you did the challenging thing
The
where you
great
like
challenge.
popped out of the car onto
Yes.
like your drums.
Yes. Yeah, we would love for people to do this as a challenge. Come on,
Dude,
do
we're-
something funky with a skateboard or with a guitar. What was it?
Skateboards
With a
and
skateboard.
guitars, and we're gonna get sponsored by a dentist for all the money they're about to make.
Well, we do have a dentist as one of our
Yes.
sponsors.
We'll get David Rosen.
See?
Right.
It all comes together.
David's
See?
about to get a hell of a lot of money.
Yes.
You know what? But it's true though. We do have an actual dentist as one of our sponsors, which makes it all funnier.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I wanted
Just
to.
tell
I
them we're
wanted-
trying to get in business. That's it.
Exactly. This is
Yeah.
how we unite for sure. I wanted to jump back again into the catalog a little bit because there was another song I wanted to ask you about. Was the song "Homesick"? Was that written like based off what the title would make you just kind of think?
I feel homesick. It's the opposite of homesick.
Nice.
Growing up in Germany, I always feel like, how high are the chances that you are born where you want to die,
Or where you want to live.
or where you want to live, where you want
More
to spend your life?
importantly.
So, and I always looked around, and like, once you start playing music, you start touring, and it becomes kind of an addiction. You get home, and after 3 months, 4 months, you get depressed, and you need to hit the road again. And all of a sudden, you are homesick for a place that you've never been to.
Yeah.
And you get, and then like there's something out there that I need to chase. You don't know what it is, but for me, it was always this feeling of home. And
Yeah.
then you look around, you grow up, and you have your friends, but everybody lives their life, everybody moves on, and you realize, well, I cannot change the people that surround me. The only thing I can change in my life, I can actively do, is look for the same-minded people. So, and this is when you start traveling, and music encourages doing so, and you get addicted to it. So all my life, I felt like I need to find this place. And so
Yes.
Oh yeah, this is our homesick video exactly. And so
But
But
that's
home is more like when we're on the road. We feel more at home when we're on the road, and we have so many amazing friends and fans throughout the whole world that just feels like we're the most connected, and where that is our home, wherever
yeah,
that
def-
is. Yeah,
oh, for sure. Homesick for a place to call my own. So,
yeah, exactly.
no,
Yeah,
love
so
it. That's
mhm.
awesome for sure. Angel, let's kick it back down to you, buddy.
Well, I have a suggestion for Christmas. Y'all do cover. Um, Grandmom got run over by a reindeer.
We already did one.
Oh, y'all did?
With a did we do a grandma got run over by a reindeer? We used some of the lyrics from it.
we have the
Yeah.
song called Jingle
Jingle
Hell,
Hell. Yeah.
and Rainbow got run over by reindeers mentioned in that
It's
song.
mixed up in it. Check that
Now
one
I know.
out.
Now
Jingle
I
Hell.
know. Now I know what songs to teach my nephews this Christmas.
We have enough for a whole album.
Yes.
We've been doing this every year since we've known each other.
We
and,
might
yeah.
release a Christmas album this year.
We
That's
say that
all.
every year, but we never do. But we have enough.
Yes, but I really liked our last year's Christmas song. It was
Mhm.
called "Baby, I'm Cold Inside,"
Baby, I'm cold.
Yeah.
and it was basically, since "Baby It's Cold Outside" was X from the radio, we realized what really happened in the song. So we kind of like we tell the story what happened in our song. It's basically the sequel to "Baby, I'm Cold Inside."
It's the sequel. It's what would have happened if she would have left.
That's awesome. So my around the time that whole controversy happened, because I'm a big Christmas guy. I mean, Halloween is my ride or die, but my family is so family oriented that we truly love Christmas because anything that'll bring us together. But I love Christmas and I love Christmas music. So when that controversy happened, I was roaring in laughter. I thought it was the stupidest thing I'd ever heard in my life.
So ridiculous. Yeah.
I understood, but I still thought it was just stupid. I was like, stop looking for things. But anyway, my best friend Janet lives out in San Diego with her boyfriend, and they have a clothing company, and I pretty much dominantly wear their stuff. When that happened, they did a T-shirt on their line that says "Baby, it's cold outside" with a picture of Jack Nicholson from The Shining.
Yes.
I don't think the Frozen version, obviously. I don't think I ever bought a shirt so fast in my life.
That's awesome.
I was like, I have to have this
Need
just
this.
to wear it anywhere that I might offend somebody. It was absolutely fantastic. But yeah, "Baby, It's Cold Inside," I remember.
Mhm. Yeah, that's good.
Angel, let's throw it back to you, bud.
Well, my question to you is, when it comes to songwriting, what's the method to your madness? Because some songwriters will start out with a song title, chorus, guitar riff. Is there any specific way that you songwrite, or is it just all over the place where whatever it's working at the time?
I think it's always two parts.
Mhm.
First, we run across a good title. I'm doing something, and then I'm coming up or watch a movie, or titles come in various ways. I think the last title that's going to be a title for a new song on the album is called "Tap Dancing." Tap dancing through minefields. That's a good title. Tap dancing through minefields. We should write a song. So
Yeah.
that's the title. So we start writing lyrics about tap dancing through a minefield. And
Mhm.
then at one point, I'm in the rehearsal room with Nikki, and I start writing a riff. And a riff, I have gazillion riffs. A riff is a good riff, and I come up with a good verse part that fits to that riff. And then we started writing. I was like, oh, that's a good riff. And then tap dancing, that's the song. And this is how. So it's always lyrics that we write, and then songs, and then we match the lyrics with the songs most of the time. Where sometimes you write a riff, and then a word sticks to the riff, like "die" or
And you can't change the lyrics after that.
"destroy," and has a ring to it, and then it's okay. You're tap dancing on minefields. It's just "die," no, it's "destroy," yeah, maybe. And then so you start matching this, but it always starts with a riff and a melody. Basically, it's kind of like "Scrambled Eggs." Yesterday, like yesterday was "Scrambled Eggs" when the Beatles originally wrote it, and that's how we write our songs too. It starts with "Scrambled Eggs."
Scrambled eggs. Yeah, but we're always kind of mixing and matching between the songs and the lyrics. It's usually a two separate process that come together It's like, oh, this feels like it's this kind of energy. Let's write about this specific topic or this awesome title. What does this title speak to us and say, and what do we want to write about? And then we just match it with music and let it go from there.
Right
and
on.
then from there we always see who's singing the song. Is this
Yeah.
going to be a ballad? Is this going to be a fast song? This can turn on a dime, on
Yeah.
a whim when we write a song. It can be a ballad with an acoustic guitar, and we say, no, it's going to speed it up. It's going to be 200 BPM thrash metal.
Do you ever have a song that you both want to sing and you both kind of have to debate who's going to sing
We
it?
have to brawl it out.
You know, it's more the opposite. It's like, Nikki, you sing this song. It's like, no, you sing this song. Like,
I'm like, you sing, I need a break.
no, she's such a good singer. I think she should sing all the songs.
Yeah, we're rehearsing our set for the tour right now, and like all the first like 5 songs I'm singing, I'm like, dude, I'm gonna die. It's like, we have to switch this up.
Next song you gonna sing for sure.
So yeah, we always have to keep that in mind. But if there is a song that we both want to sing, we figure out the harmonies and just make it awesome with our harmonies. And that's kind of a new thing that we're working a lot on is that.
It's not really new, but
not
yeah,
new, but yeah, we work a lot on harmonies.
yeah. But like you said, it's the other way around. It's like Nikki should sing more and I should sing less.
Nice. To kind of piggyback a little bit off of that, especially again, bringing it back to you being a Metallica and Megadeth guy, Ralph. So there's a long-standing, story and well-known fact that James Hetfield is not allowed to just jam in the studio without a recorder going. When it comes to you like writing riffs and stuff like that, are you pretty good at remembering riffs that you write for current or future songs, or do you like to record things just in case?
You know what? I have this little digital recorder, and I used to do it on my phone, but I also do it on my phone, but on the phone they just get lost. So I have this little digital Zoom recorder. Whenever I have an idea, I record it. But you know what? Many times I have ideas. I get my ideas when I'm driving late night. That's usually when I get the most ideas. So I'm sitting in the van. We're on tour, and we're driving from Chicago to Columbus. That's like an 8-hour drive. So we're driving from 2 a.m. till probably 6 a.m. till we just pull over and sleep. So I'm on my second energy drink right now. Rockstar's what I usually drink. And then something kicks in, and I hear something on the radio, and I feel like that song on the radio would be way better if it would go to E minor instead of G sharp. And then the vocal line should be something else. So I'm going to sing that riff that should happen, and the vocal line should happen on my phone. And that's how a song sometimes starts.
Nice.
And
Yeah, but we record when we have ideas.
yes.
And if we're in the studio too, and we're just working on something and have one of those moments like, oh, this is an amazing idea, we just kind of record it real quick to save it for later if we're not working on it right that moment.
But there's so many riffs.
Yeah.
That we write definitely way more riffs than we can record. So
Sure.
whenever I feel like, what should we write today? Maybe I should go through the 200 riffs that I recorded last year.
And we usually just
I was like,
write something new.
But that sounds like work, so I'd rather just make a new riff. But there's definitely a gazillion ideas that I have recorded.
For sure. Oh, that's super duper cool. Hey, fans, I just want to let you guys know, Metal Summoners, you know how much we love you guys. However, it is last call for alcohol, guys. So get your final comments, your final questions to Nikki and Ralph into the comments. That way, when we kick it back to Angel later, that way he will be able to read them and we can get all of your questions answered and all of your love to the guys. And we really, as always, appreciate you guys watching us. So again, it is last call for alcohol, guys, for questions. Queen Bobby Dreyer, it is back to you.
Wait, we don't hear you.
You're muted.
Killer Queen, we can't hear you, bro.
The host unmuted me now.
Wow.
There we go.
I just seen it. Oh, we love Jamar. Thank you. He mutes me,
John
unmutes
Martin,
me.
wake up.
The man behind
so-
the scenes.
So, would you ever consider doing a video of, well, let's just say Disney tunes? All Disney.
We actually, for Christmas, once again, we always do strange things. And one of our Christmas songs videos was a mix between Frozen and what is the night theater?
Nightmare Before Christmas.
No, it's that old dude. Who's the guy? That's the skeleton guy who was hosting this show. He used to host
Tales from the Crypt.
Yes,
Yes.
thank you.
The Crypt Keeper.
The Crypt
Yeah.
Keeper. So it was a mix. This guy, Frozen, and then this zombie Nazi movie called Red Snow, and we mix those two things together. So yeah, we're open. Bring it on.
But
It's Red
but it
Snow.
Yeah.
But it would be great to see like a parody of like really dark Disney tunes. I mean, taking all the villains and throwing them together, and you guys doing a mosh.
I'm
Yes.
down.
That
I
way.
like this. I know every Disney song there. Well,
I mean, but you take it from Hunchback of Notre Dame, and you just go, the really dark Ursula, Oogie, Mr. Oogie Boogie,
Oogie
go
Boogie.
that. Oh yeah,
I like it. That's a
yeah,
good idea.
I like it.
We're always looking for ideas for Christmas, and it's coming up always quicker than you think.
But check out the one that's Red Snow, our Christmas one. You'll like it.
that's got to be better than Yellow Snow.
Oh yeah, anytime.
It is. Don't eat the
Theoretically.
red snow. Don't eat the red snow.
Now that's another thing of doing. What about a Zappa tune? That
Zappa.
Zappa, I love Zappa.
but pulling like Valley Girls out or something.
Girls.
We're living in the valley.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, we're open to all kinds of things, and we like all different kinds of music, so that's
Very
like
cool.
the one thing about we're not shying away from any different genres. We love all different kinds of things. So
Yeah. I mean,
that's-
Zappa's a genius.
Yeah.
That guy's crazy.
that guy's insane.
Pull that off. Who?
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, considering that Zappa is such a unique enigma, let alone amazing musician and stuff, who would you guys say is probably your guys' most like little known unique inspiration? Is there somebody who like you guys take inspiration from that people wouldn't think would be in your wheelhouse of inspired figures?
That's a good question.
Yeah. I mean, we love like the Beatles. We actually do take a lot of songwriting tips from them, which is a different genre base, but I think everyone loves the Beatles, right?
But not even just music wise.
Music
Taking
wise.
it could even be a writer or movie wise. Who inspires you?
Oh, we listen to a lot of Ennio. How do you say his name? Ennio Morricone.
Ennio Morricone.
John Carpenter films we like a lot. We get a lot of stuff from that kind of music and genre.
Definitely.
Horror. Yeah.
You know Ennio Morricone, for example. He did like The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Yeah.
And he did Once Upon a Time. And like our song Killing Time, that's an ode to the movie Once Upon a Time in the West. Where it's
very cool.
Where Charles Bronson is playing the harmonica. And we play that song live. Nicky has a harmonica and I have the harmonica. And it needs to be a chromatic harmonica because it's minor. And we play that song. That's definitely one thing we always look at. And that's a big inspiration
Westerns,
for us.
horror, yeah. We like
Very
soundtracks. Soundtracks, soundscaping. We listen to a lot of movie soundtracks and things like that for inspiration.
Nice.
Yeah, and then Massive Attack is always another
Yeah.
influence that we really. That's a band that, I don't know, the dynamics, the songwriting, and the soundscaping, that's always a big influence too.
Definitely.
I mean, you don't really hear it too much, but I definitely also do sound design. So when you listen to our music in headphones, you realize there's some synths and some pads and some transitions and some bells and stuff that's very
Soundscapey. Yeah.
film music, soundscapey.
Oh, I love that. I'm now going to need a Crash Karma Rocky Horror Picture Show song.
Yeah.
It's astounding.
It's just a jump to the left.
We actually do that song in our acoustic project.
Oh, bitchin'.
But not for very much longer.
That's awesome.
We love Rocky Horror.
Me and Steve are hosting a Halloween festival this October that all the TMS guys are going to be at. And myself and the promoter just announced the themes for costumes that we want for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Yeah. And one of those is going to be Rocky Horror.
Nice.
We're doing Thriller on Thursday, like Night of the Zombies with Thriller. We're doing Rocky Horror on Friday, and I forget offhand what we had announced for Saturday.
80s Prom.
Thank
80s
you.
prom
Prom
gone
night.
wrong.
Yeah.
Yep.
Prom night.
80s prom. What are you gonna be, like Carrie with a bucket of blood?
Wow.
Hey, not
I
bad.
got.
You know,
I'll
You
put
know
Bobby.
who's coming
I'll put Bobby in a
first,
dress.
Huh?
to hell. You don't have to twist my arm.
No. Well, and it's funny. So I was talking with with Janet again, my buddy, earlier today.
Damn it, Janet.
Yeah, pretty
I love
much.
you.
Well, because she and her husband make all my clothes, my vests, all my stage gear as well. And I had sent them the artwork for 2 new vests for them to make for me that they're working on right now. And Janet's like, well, what are you going to be for Halloween this year? And I hadn't really put any thought into it because I usually do a cosplay of myself, but as a character. So I have like a vest and I do a version of my everyday attire, but as a famous character. So I do like a punk metal version. I did one for the Joker. I did one of Beetlejuice. I did one last year of the Crow. And then when I was talking to Brad, who's putting on the show, and he had announced, and we had talked about what he wants to do for themes. And when he said he wants to do Rocky Horror, I was like, great. Now I'm going to have to text Janet and be like, I'm going to need a Rocky Horror vest made. Which I know
that's
they
gonna
don't.
be killer.
Yep, absolutely. Well, I love Rocky Horror, and Eddie was my guy, man. The Meatloaf character,
Awesome.
that was my cat from original Rocky Horror. And I'm also a big Adam Lambert fan in general. So
Nice.
depending on what people thought of the remake of Rocky Horror Picture Show, I don't know if you guys saw it or
The
not.
remake?
I haven't seen it.
Yeah. It was a made for TV movie that they did about 3 years ago.
With
And I
Adam
mean,
Lambert as Eddie.
Yeah, he
Cool.
played Eddie.
Okay.
And
Alright.
so when he did, whatever happened on Saturday night, I loved his version of it. I really thought he killed it.
Nice. I gotta check
so-
that out.
Yeah, no, definitely check it out. I mean, Rocky Horror is one of those movies that I would have preferred they not touch. It's kind of like if somebody tries to touch A Clockwork Orange. I'll burn that production studio to the ground myself. Nobody's allowed to touch A Clockwork Orange. But, I mean, for what it's worth, they did a good job. I mean, it was
they
cool.
brought it to a new generation. That's
Yep.
fine.
Absolutely. So now I've got to reach out to Janet and be like, well, I talked to Brad. It looks like I need a Rocky Horror jacket. So I just did it before Halloween.
Brad and Janet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's Brad and Janet. Fantastic.
Man,
Exactly.
I remember when I was a kid, I always saw that poster, Rocky Horror Picture Show, with the lips and the blood. And I thought, this must be a crazy horror movie. And I was super into horror movies. And then finally I watched the movie. It's like, that's not a horror movie at all. They're singing. And I was so disappointed. And then I hated it. But I was a kid. And then a few years later, somebody gave me a cassette with a soundtrack of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. And holy crap, it's like every song is a hit. So I got so into the soundtrack that I had to rewatch the movie. And I couldn't
Finally, you got it.
And of course, if you think, hey, watch this horror movie, and then it's a soundtrack, it was just false advertising. That's what I felt as a kid.
No,
You felt betrayed.
But once I got into it, it's the best musical.
Yeah, people think all the time that Rocky Horror Picture Show, just based off the title, is a horror movie. I'm like, no, it's a macabre musical. It's it's like a slightly less devastating version of Sweeney Todd.
Yeah.
And after I seen it 3 times, the straight thing just went out the window.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you had no
that's,
shot.
that's all it took, huh?
Let alone the fact that the Rocky Horror character Bobby is blonde. So, this will be fun. I'm leading into like our final segment. So like, what are some of your guys' just favorite like movie like soundtracks? So like, I'll give you mine. Like I love Rocky Horror Picture Show. I love Grease, and I love A Nightmare Before Christmas.
All great ones. I'm definitely feeling all of those 3 selections right there.
Right.
I mean, but
also,
they say already soundtracks. I love the Natural Born Killer soundtrack.
That's awesome.
But that's more like if you listen to the soundtrack on CD, it's more like a sound, like the way they edited everything together. I think John Lesnar did this. It's pretty much like watching the movie. Also, Pulp Fiction. That's a great soundtrack.
That's a really good one. for sure.
And you know what I just bought? Check this out.
We just bought a bunch. We were at Amoeba the other day, and they had like a $2 sale on soundtracks. So we had a bunch of cool stuff.
So,
Oh hell yeah! And I'll throw in the Sweeney Todd soundtrack because if anybody hasn't heard it, it's really fucking great.
Nice.
to show you that how much of a soundtrack dude I am, I just bought this 2 days ago.
Once Upon a
Time in Hollywood.
Yeah.
That's a great soundtrack.
Yeah.
Then this one,
City of Gold.
Oh,
City of God.
Yeah.
That's also a really good one. And this one, it's a French movie. It's called Amélie.
Oh yeah, I know that one.
That's also great music. And then the Motorcycle Diaries. I thought
You
any
went-
sort of Cuban
You
music.
went all in.
Yeah.
All
I listen
about
to a
it.
lot of soundtracks. That's how I find a lot of good music too. I feel like
Yeah.
it's always like a good compilation or like there's a lot of artists that you never find.
Yeah.
And then you go on Spotify. What do you do on Spotify? You look for stuff that you know already, or you listen to some playlists. I feel soundtracks. That's the way to go for
You
me.
definitely
Yeah.
always find things that you wouldn't know any other way. You know, just go and
For
check
sure.
it out and see what you find.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful way to discover things.
And of course, all the musicals that you mentioned. Of course,
Yeah,
those are all
great.
those are of course great. Nightmare
Yeah.
Before
jazz
Christmas.
hands. No.
Yes.
Hey, so, Bobby, what about you, dude? You got some favorite soundtracks?
The first Halloween.
Yes, John
Mhm.
Carpenter did the music.
Yeah.
That blows
Oh.
my mind always. This guy's directing and filming the music and doing the music.
Good
The
answer,
movie
Bob.
and the music. Holy
Yeah.
crap. And
And,
that's such a
it's
good
such
soundtrack.
a great album. And then there's got to be Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Thank you, Jamar. Fast Times at Ridgemont High. That's a great one.
Just an amazing soundtrack. I mean, Stevie Nicks' tune on there is every time I hear it, it's just like, my God. It was my senior year of high school, and it summed everything up.
Nice.
Then I'm gonna dig deep. It's gotta be, and it's I'm a Disney whore, so it's Mary Poppins.
We just
Okay.
watched
We
my
just
phone
watched it the other
for
day.
the first time.
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
Oh my God, Dick Van Dyke on there. His songs on there are just like I mean, it's a dark album if you really think about it.
Yeah.
It was like one of those movies that I never really saw when I was a kid, but I know every one of those songs.
Oh,
And I was like, every single song that came on there, I could sing it, but never watched the whole movie, and nor had
Oh.
he. So we had to finally watch it the other day.
and if you really want to watch, Jamar will tell you there. He'll put the link up. There's a guy who did. It's a dark version of the spoof of Mary Poppins. He took like all of it. It's basically like a psycho thriller, and it's all Disney.
What?
Yeah, put the link up for that. That sounds amazing.
Yeah, Jamar, he knows what I'm talking about, and it's like, oh my God, it's incredible. But they're probably three of my favorite movies right now. But a lot of the early Disney films that Kurt Russell was in were just badass, and some of the songs, you think about how hokey they were, but they're like some really good shit.
I love Disney songs. Great writing.
Oh,
Okay, here we go.
absolutely.
The original Scary
Oh,
Mary Poppins.
here, yes, watch this. So, oh my God, it's such a great. You guys got it. It's creepy as anything.
The original Scary Mary Poppins.
I've never even heard of this. And the fog.
The fog.
rolls in.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
It's a creepy premise.
it's so Mary Poppins meets the Omen.
Yeah. It's probably some good music on it. Yeah, totally.
Oh yeah.
I'm about to give myself the most badass fucking evil Mary Poppins tattoo.
Yeah.
What do you get?
I want to see it.
Hell yeah. Angel, how about you, buddy? Favorite soundtracks?
Y'all gonna laugh at this one. The Rocky IV movie and The Last Action Hero.
Okay.
Rocky 4, that's a great answer, dude. Nobody's gonna laugh at that.
But
I couldn't tell you what it was,
Rocky
what it
IV,
is.
the Eye of the Tiger is not on there.
It's
No.
not on. It's not on that, but "Hearts on Fire" is another Survivor song.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah,
it.
that
Oh,
was-
another
that was one
soundtrack
for
I
me.
love. Another soundtrack I love is Footloose.
That's a good one.
The original Footloose. Oh man, I love that movie.
Well, and here I guess now that I'm thinking about, like, I got to throw this in because, again, since I take any excuse I can to pimp out my love affair of Queen. So Flash Gordon
All right.
Yay! And how about
I like-
Highlander?
and Highlander.
Yes.
Yeah,
Who
'cause Queen
wants
did-
to live
Queen did all of that
forever?
Yep.
Oh yes, really good.
Flesh Gordon.
Yep.
So Jay, what was it was supposed to be the gayest Nightmare on Elm Street that they did. Was that
Two.
number two?
Number two?
With Mark Harmon.
Yeah. It was like,
here's the thing. If you guys, I'm into just documentaries in general. But when I can find documentaries that are about horror movies or musicians, I watch them. Doesn't even matter the music genre. If anybody hasn't seen this, you should check it out. They did a documentary about Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2 based around Mark's character. It's called Scream Queen. Scream, it's Scream, Queen.
Okay.
It's fucking amazing. They do a great job talking to Mark about how this young guy gets this role and I mean, he hadn't come out. He knew, but he was very much in the closet because at that time it was not safe to come out. Like, Bobby, you and I have talked about this before. Like,
I thought you were gonna say, wait, I've always been safe. I wear a condom.
No, you've always been safe, bro. But we've talked amongst each other about how it was at different times. And Mark was talking about, the struggles of being in the closet, but getting this big opportunity in this big franchise. The way that movie was written, if you do watch it, it is. It's definitely not a because of the way it's written.
Stab you.
Do we have to rewatch the movie before we watch the documentary, or is this alone?
You can really do it either way. I watched the documentary and it made me. I mean, I was aware of it from the second movie because I'd seen the second movie so many times anyway.
Okay.
But when I watched the documentary, it definitely made me go and rewatch the movie right afterwards. You can really do it either way because if you watch the second movie and then watch the documentary, it's going to put some things in light that you probably didn't notice. If you watch the documentary first, you're just going to want to watch the second movie again just as an even playing field. So you can really do it either way. But it's really a fantastic documentary. They did a great job.
Awesome.
It's kind of like watching Mike Pence and then reading the Bible.
That's crazy. So before we take too much of your evening away, Angel, I'm going to kick it to you for any final comments and questions from the fans before we put a little bow on everything.
Yes, I have a question from Sharon.
A pink one.
A pink bow.
All right. What's Sharon's question?
Why was Cruel Summer not included on the EP?
That's a good question because I love the song, but we decided we're gonna put one cover song on this on the EP, and since we have already our new single "Summer Storm" on this EP, we felt like there's too much summer on this EP. If we also put "Summer Storm," "Cruel Summer," and then we decided, you know what, let's put Eleanor Rigby on the song because
and Cruel Summer was also from 2 years ago, so we put our stuff that was mostly written in the pandemic. Yeah.
But also Eleanor Rigby is probably a song that we probably never gonna play live. So I felt like we need to share this with the audience. Where Cruel Summer is a song that we still
play that live.
We will be rocking that song. That's an awesome song.
Yeah.
So we try to keep the balance definitely with Eleanor Rigby because we really like that song. But I mean, we did a bunch of other cover versions too. We played Sepultura, Ratamahata. That was a great cover, and there was a few covers where we felt like which one should we pick. But I felt like Eleanor Rigby and Cruel Summer. That was a toss-up.
That
But
was
at
a
the end,
toss-up.
Eleanor Rigby got the bit because we don't want to have two summer songs on a storm.
And because it was more recent.
Yeah.
And that would be my answer.
Nice.
But you can come see it live, Sharon.
Yes, we'll play Cruel Summer. Cruel Summer Storm.
Cruel Summer Storm. It's a new mashup.
Yeah.
And we got 2 questions from Candy. She wants you to create your own supergroup. So who would you have if you could create your own supergroup?
Create your own supergroup. Who do you want to play with?
No, create your own supergroup.
Yeah.
Right, like who
means
would you have on bass? Who would you have on guitar? Who would be the
Exactly.
singer?
Yeah, we should have like an interesting supergroup. So it should be like Ringo on the drums,
There you go.
and Michael D'Angelo Battio on the guitar.
Who's this?
Oh, it's
It's
my favorite guitar player.
It's the super shredder. So it's a guy on drums that just makes boom, chuck, boom, chuck, and a guy on the guitar makes. Actually, you know what? I thought about, and I'm still might
Can
do
we have
this.
Bootsy Collins on bass?
No, yes, we can have Bootsy Collins. But here's what I want to do. I want to make the fastest band in the world, and for this, I take it back. I'm gonna create the fastest band in the world. I'm still gonna edit a YouTube video because you find all these characters on YouTube. There's this one guy. He's a drummer for this, I think, a Dutch band Henker, and he's playing a pedal that has 2 pedals on each side.
4 beaters.
He doesn't play double bass.
Yeah.
He plays quadruple bass. And when he starts playing double bass, you hear the pitch of the note. And if you know about sound engineering, if you put like the 5K, this is what you hear. As a note, it starts like this. Zzz, zzz. Sounds like a bee swarm to count. So you're playing. So he's the fastest drummer. He's going to be the drummer. Then the guitar player is going to be this kid that I found on YouTube who has the world record, who plays like Flight of the Bumblebees with 999 beats per minute. It's so ridiculous. It's crazy. That's the guitar player. The singer will be the last champion of the fucking, what is this? The cow auctions?
Oh, no, the auctions. Yeah.
They have those auctions.
Hey,
Like,
not a final.
hey, blah, 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 blah.
Hey.
This is going to be the singer. And I'll be still looking for a bass player. Who's the
Bootsy.
fastest bass player?
I don't know. I think Bootsy should be it.
I think probably Charlie Sheen when he plays his bass with a drill. That's my super group. It's gonna blow your mind. It's so fast. They play like it.
I'll just watch that one.
It's gonna be the most amazing concert experience. You're gonna get 15 songs in 4 minutes.
Yeah,
Yes,
4 minutes.
exactly. This kid plays Flight of the Bumblebee. When I play Flight of the Bumblebees, it probably takes me around 2 minutes to play the song. This kid plays the song, I think, like in 10 seconds.
Jesus.
Or not even 10 seconds, probably
I
like
don't even
5
know how
seconds.
you can even call that a song
insane.
anymore.
Well,
Okay, so that's Ralph's supergroup.
So we're going to get to the last fan question again. We appreciate your time putting up with us for the last few hours.
problem. Thanks
We
for having
love you.
us.
We appreciate you. We'll see who gets the CD first.
Yes, let us know.
Well, it's not fair that Jay ordered it first. So,
I follow my bands, man, and
But,
like
okay,
I said,
but-
dude, I'm
okay.
a fan. So
but do me a favor when you get my order, send mine first.
mine's in the
It's already
mail,
sent
so you already lose.
Yeah.
Damn.
Unless the mail fails, then you might get it.
There
first.
might be a
And
mail
it is
fail.
a possibility.
Well,
so.
well, I can have your mail diverted to Alaska, so then I can get it first.
Shush you.
I'll put in a word.
Well,
I'll call
fine.
my
You- if
guy
you-
who knows a guy. We'll make it
yeah,
happen.
I know a guy who knows a guy. Well, Angel, even if you get your storm before I do, I'm still 4 albums up on you.
Yes.
Right.
You really had to win. You really had to win.
I had
That's
to
a
win,
low
dude.
blow. You had
I
to
am
go for
not-
the low
I
blow.
refuse to lose the Crash Karma episode. Did we have a final question, buddy?
Oh yeah, this always happens with Candy's question. We always have something happen in between. Sorry, Candy. It's Jay's fault. You had to win. Okay.
Victory.
Candy wants to know, which musician do you think would make a good actor?
Overall, which musician would
Yeah,
make a
which
good
musician would make a good actor?
I think David Bowie would be a great actor.
He is a great actor.
No, that was a joke.
I think Dave Mustaine should be James Bond.
I think Dave Mustaine should play James Hetfield in a Metallica.
Nice. That'd be
Who else is a
hilarious.
colorful character?
Who would be a good character? I mean, I think Gene Simmons would be a great actor. Did he?
Or
act?
the Avatar, the
Yeah, he did.
Avatar boys.
Gene Simmons did, of course he did.
Yeah, he was in a movie, Dead or Alive.
Trick or Treat.
Okay.
Gene Simmons was in those.
Yeah, he was in a movie called Trick or Treat with Ozzy.
I don't think he would be a good actor.
Okay,
though.
I think King Diamond would be a good actor.
I could see
Yeah.
that.
Because
Definitely,
he's a good character.
he's some
Yeah.
horror movie. Come on, he's like has a Vincent Price vibes.
You know, Gerald Tate played a killer in a movie, some indie movie.
Yeah.
I gotta see that one. I never saw it.
I mean, he played the character from Operation Mindcrime for years on stage. He's definitely capable of acting.
Nice. Yeah. Okay. So that's that. Anybody else you can think of would be a good character?
Good character for a movie. I mean, I think anybody can pull off be an actor. Just the question is, who's
Will they be good?
Who's a good character in what movie? What paints a picture?
Yeah.
Miley Cyrus.
Miley.
Going back to Disney.
Back to Disney again. Yes.
Seriously.
I would be a great actor. You know, hire me. No, serious. Every time
They do need a new James Bond.
Yes.
I like.
But there's an opening for that.
James Bond. I mean, I really like the last James Bond actor.
Me too.
Yeah. So you could do the soundtrack and be James Bond. There you go.
I would kill myself if I could do the soundtrack of the James Bond song. I love the old James Bond themes.
Oh yeah.
I think that's
Well, Bobby's got a martini, so he could do that too.
It's empty.
He's done. Yeah.
It's shaken,
Time
not
to
stirred.
refill. Yeah.
Oh,
talk about soundtracks. Come on, James Bond always.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Great.
No, it's definitely a good
so
one.
much good music in James Bond.
Definitely.
As like a fun little closing question from us talking about so many covers, have you guys ever put in any thought into doing a Rammstein cover?
Well, I sang Rammstein with other bands. Are you from Germany? You can sing this, go on stage. And here I'm on stage. And I was on tour with Rammstein in Germany when I did the first tour, doing merch for my friend's band. So I know this band ever since. I know this band. I know this band since I released their first demo that I had on cassette. Standing on stage, like, I don't know the lyrics of this song. So doing a Rammstein song, I know it's too close to home. I feel it's like someone else can do this. They do a better job.
Fair enough.
Jay Oakley on bass. No, just comment from a fan. Candy thinks that Jay on bass would be good.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Whenever we're in your area, you gotta bring your bass. We play a song with you.
All right.
We plug you in the system. I turn my bass off, and you play the bass for us for one song. You pick the song.
Jay Oakley. Okay.
Sweet.
All right. What was you saying, Bobby?
Me? Oh, so I have to say, so when you sing Rammstein songs, Steve's not here, so I can't make the joke. Do you piss off a lot of Jews?
Not quite sure.
Not on purpose.
Not on purpose.
Because none of us know what the hell they're saying, but I swear Steve gets really hot flashes every time he hears a Rammstein song.
Really?
They're usually talking about bullshit.
It's actually a funny band.
Yeah.
The looks are very dark and they're very. It's a satire almost.
And a lot of play on words.
A lot of play on words. So they say, first of all, it's Rammstein. It's a city where a flight show happened and the two planes collided, and so they crashed into the audience, and there was probably 200 or 300 people burning, mostly families. And that's what the song Rammstein is about. It's about
that's what the band
Rammstein.
name is,
yeah, that's the band name. And the song Rammstein is about blood on the concrete, kids burning. And so that's why the whole show is about fire. And it's a very tongue-in-cheek way to make fun of people who burn to death, I guess.
I know. I mean, it's crazy with that stuff because I'm a Rammstein fan. I also love Till's solo
Yeah.
band. I love
do
the
too.
Lindman albums.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
And the first album is in English, which I really wasn't prepared for, but it's fantastic.
And there you get the lyrics now.
Yeah, and it just shows, because I mean, I've done my Rammstein history. I know Till's writing style, and I've met him, and he's lovely. He's a really nice guy. And but when you hear Till's writing style as English songs,
Yes.
it's fantastic, because the first Tillman album, he does songs about pills addiction, golden showers, like transgenders, like it's
Finally you get the humor.
Yeah.
like like fishing for women, like it's hilarious. I'm listening to these songs just one after another, where it's going from skills and pills to Lady Boy to golden showers to please abort, and I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Praise abort.
Praise
Yes.
abort. Yeah.
Praise abort, but hearing it as just as English songs is just, it's just epic. It's like, I felt like I was listening. I felt like I could see rainbows and Skittles and gummy bears coming out of my CD.
Totally. Totally.
And that's Rammstein. They
Yeah.
just sing in a different language, so
No,
it sounds totally different.
But I
you
gotta
know?
say, like in English was definitely funnier, because the German language is just so dark, and the way it's a little more intellectual when he's doing it in German, because it's so many layers. When it's in English, it says it
It's
takes
just funny.
one dimension off, but it's still the same kind of humor. It's definitely very dark and praise abort. Hey, come on.
Yep.
It's a
Seriously, it's absolutely fantastic. Well, Ralph, Nikki, we really want to thank you guys, and we
Yes,
want to
thank
be
you.
able to enjoy
Thanks
the
for
rest
having
of
us.
your evening. And our big thing is always, how you guys felt that you had a good time, you liked your questions, and that you felt that this was valued for you.
Absolutely.
Of course, we're gonna
Totally
share this
cool.
and
Very
then show
cool.
the people what we're
Absolutely.
capable of.
And before we let you go, real quick, for anybody who's looking for you, where can they find you?
KRASHKARMA.com has all of our links. It's always Crash with a K. So you'll see it right here on the corner of your screen, and all social media sites. Find us, follow us, love us, share us, all those things. Write us. We are always in contact with our fans, and we love you very much.
Absolutely, 100%. So support them, guys. Storm came out on Friday, so limited to 500, guys. Get your orders in, because then it's just digital. But thank you guys so much, Crash Karma, for spending your evening with us.
Thank you.
For us here at the Metal Summit, hit us all up on our socials as well: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. We are live on all platforms, so you can watch us on all of our platforms. The little scan me code right there, fans, scan it. You will find us everywhere. So definitely jump on that. So as always, Metal Summoners, we love you guys so much. Thank you so much for spending your evening with us. Again, for Bobby Dreyer, for Angel Alamo, for the Psycho Steve, I'm Jay. As always, thank you so much to Jamar. Another fantastic job, brother. We love you. And thank you again to Nikki and Ralph, Crash Karma, for spending their evening with us.
Thanks.
We'll see you guys next week. Guest announcement on Friday, and next Wednesday. You guys know where you will be. As always, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week. You know where you've been. You know where you'll be next week. You have been watching the Metal Summit.
Real quick, Jay.
Oh, wow. Nice save.
Yeah.
What?
So tomorrow, tune in. Exclusive interview with Jay Curley from the president, CEO of Gibson Guitars.
Yes,
I will be doing it live.
Bobby will be rocking a Metal Summit interview with Gibson Guitars from NAMM.
At what time?
What do you have?
It's going to be on there, so it'll be out to everybody. Jay and he invited me over to his office, so
all the more reason, fans, to make sure that you're on our Facebook, our YouTube, and that you follow us. So when Bobby goes live, you will be notified. So
there'll
again,
be some great things coming up. And,
absolutely,
really
great
cool
things as always.
Check it out.
Thank you so much, guys. As always, to kind of turn it back over, now you've been watching the Metal Summit.